We might get started then. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate your time and energy today. We'll see what we've got to share with you today. So my name is Dr. Sarah Pye. I'm the host of World of Wildlife. I co-host this gathering every single month with Dr. Wong Siew, who's based in Borneo. Now, Wong will hopefully be here in a few minutes. He sometimes gets called away because there's a bit of a bear drama going on, and that's a serious bear drama, not a bear as in climbing bears. So he runs the Bornean Sun Bear Conservation Center. I write books about Wong, so I've actually written 6 children's books and 1 adult biography about Dr. Wong Siew and his life in Borneo with the different animals in the rainforest there. I first met Dr. Wong in 2012, and I was absolutely captivated with his charisma and commitment to saving a species from extinction. So I asked him what I could do to help. He came back to me with 5 very powerful words. He said, "Do what you do best." And that sort of propelled me down the last 13 years or so. I started by introducing him to the University of the Sunshine Coast. That's led to all sorts of projects. I created an adoption program with some students in 2014 that helps him raise money for sun bear conservation. And in 2016, I asked him if I could write his story. So that's what's this is what's actually come from that, including a doctorate. So I actually did my doctorate in how can we use narratives to engage non-scientists in conservation. So that's sort of what I've been doing for the last decade or more. I also now do a lot of workshops with children because I realize that the importance of actually trying to connect with children in the next generation, because if we don't reconnect ourselves with nature, then we're likely to be one of the next species that goes extinct. So I spend a lot of time in schools doing workshops around my book content. I've also created all sorts of teacher resources like this package that goes together with the Wildlife Wong and the Sun Bear book. And I'm also writing a brand new book, or just finished writing a brand new book called Curious Kai Asks Why. Now, this book is all about a young 10-year-old girl. She's really wants to learn from wildlife. It's been 2 years in the making, and then this 10-year-old girl has constantly, how would we say it? Basically, her mind is constantly brimming with curiosity, and she wonders things like, do songbirds have accents? Can fish fly? Are bats rats with wings or birds with fur? So Kai and her artistic mum hook up their camper trailer and they go in search of the real scientists and species who have the answers for her. Kai's convinced that the answers to her burning questions about Queensland's diverse wildlife will help us save the world. So some of the scientists featured in this book have already been speakers here at World of Wildlife, like Dr. Dom Podby, Graham Lauriston, Dr. Asia Haynes, and Spencer Hitchin. Others will be joining us in the near future. So Curious Kai is now available for pre-order through Kickstarter. You can purchase a copy if you'd like of the book for yourself, for the young person in your life or a teacher that you know. I will be running an online launch in September, late September, and you guys are definitely invited to come to that. At this stage, though, I really need your support, and I would love for you to have a copy of Curious Kai before anyone else gets it. So I haven't asked for this before, and you know that World of Wildlife has been free ever since we started this 4 years ago. I'm asking you to help now. So together we can connect kids to nature through storytelling. So I'd love you to click, have a look. You can actually have a look at the real life cover and see what you think of the cover. Give me some feedback. But also while you're there, think about possibly pledging, purchasing a copy and sharing that link widely to help me get across the line. I would so appreciate that. That'd be really, really helpful. So turning 60, I've actually turned 60 this week or last week. I know. I launched the Kickstarter campaign for my 60th, and I also, turning 60, there's one place that I've wanted to go since I was 12, or the age of curious Kai, I guess, the Galapagos Islands. So this is the place where Charles Darwin studied finches. It's the home to these blue-footed boobies, marine iguanas, ancient tortoises, and all sorts of amazing things. So I head off to the Galapagos Islands on Friday. I am totally beside myself. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to telling you stories when I get back. While I'm there, I don't tend to travel anymore just in a hedonistic way. I tend to travel and try and give back a little bit while I'm traveling. So while I'm there, I've donated my time to run a half-day workshop for the scientists at the Galapagos Research Center. My goal is to help them improve their narrative communication skills and spread their impressive science a little bit further. So this is the workshop I'll be doing. Narrativas para la conversación. And I'm trying really hard to learn a few Spanish words to work on that. I'll have a translator with me at the time. I will then, the next day, be hosting a screening of Bear Trek for the Galapagos community. Now, this is a film created by Chris Morgan, if anyone hasn't heard of Chris Morgan. He's a US documentary filmmaker, and his team made this movie 20 years ago. 20 years ago. This was a time when there was no such thing as drones, so all their aerial footage was done with helicopters, believe it or not. They traveled around the world with Chris on a motorbike in search of bears and bear scientists around the world. One of those bear scientists that they met was Dr. Wong, who at the time was in the middle of 6 years in the jungles of Borneo studying sun bears and learning more about sun bears than anyone else on Earth. So this is a movie close to my heart. Chris Morgan, the filmmaker, has given me permission to showcase this incredible film in the Galapagos, and even created Spanish subtitles so that the people in the Galapagos can see it in two languages at the same time. So I'm very, very excited for what's coming for me next week. Hey, well, I would like to introduce my friend, someone I admire more than anyone else on earth, Dr. Wong, who's going to tell us a little bit about his update in Borneo, what's actually going on with the bears in Borneo. So Wong, there's a picture that might start you off of a couple of things that have happened since we last met. Over to you, Wong.
Okay, great. Hi, I am currently in China right now in Guangzhou. I just arrived like last night, at like 2 a.m. in the morning. Managed to deal with everything at 3 o'clock, and so it has been a rough travel. I got 2 lectures to be delivered in the next 2 days
Wow.
at the Southern China Normal University. Yeah, so about nature-based tourisms and conservations, and how nature tourism, especially the research tourisms, which is a very popular topic among the Chinese scholar nowadays, where they travel, they learn the environment, they with their tourist money, they helps local people, and also of course conservation as well. So that's what I'm here for the next few days. Actually, at first I was so worried that I won't be able to join you today, because I just realized that I cannot use Google. I cannot use most of the website that I used to in my computer. I cannot use, and only a certain things. I cannot use Facebook, cannot use WhatsApp. So all of those are blocked, so this is the world where
Well
very
done.
different. Yeah, and I've been worried so much that I cannot pay because nobody accept cash nowadays. And just now I was in an electric car, and the driver can just let the car drive for itself. This
Wow.
is really amazing, and it is like in a sci-fi movie, and it's in real life right now. Anyway, so that is me right now. And then update about what we have been doing. Of course, last month on May 16 is a big day for us when we celebrating the International Sunbear Day. And then I'm not sure whether you have follow our live stream and then yeah, and then yeah, so it has been another great celebrations where we invited school groups, the local college for us to support our works. And then and that day is also Teachers Day in Malaysia. I think they are also celebrate in many country as well. And yeah, so it was a very
Well,
good tiring.
was
Of course, it
was
is
it
also
very
my birthday.
successful?
Yeah. Yes,
Was it
Sarah, you want to say something?
successful? Was it successful?
Yeah, it was a very, very successful event. And then compared to the last 2 years where our events was morning and afternoon, and then this year we did it only in the morning session. I think it's a good idea. One of the reason is because it's also Friday. We need to get everything's done. Most of the program done by 11 by noon, so that the Muslim can go to the mosque to pray. So we cut off at 12 o'clock. Yeah, it was a good yeah, good time, I have to say. Yeah.
Oh,
And then after
fantastic.
that, yeah. And then after that, so I've been doing my typical things, running around, that what you see in the screen right now. So I'm giving talks in several university
And there's a couple
here
of
and
other
there.
things there that you might want to talk about as well.
Yeah, so like what? International Sunbear Day. And then yeah, so right now we also um hold on, we also in the process of changing our forest enclosure. So if some of you may know, our forest enclosure, the fencing in Forest Enclosure 1 was built 40 years ago for the Sumatran rhino and using the very hard ironwoods. But after these ironwood being in use in the rainforest for 40 years, many parts are not safe anymore. So last year, October, we decided to refurbish this broken decayed ironwood into a chain link fences. And right now we are almost done. We are at pen C right now. And hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get it done and the bears can be let out in the newer enclosure, which is bigger and definitely will increase the visitor experience. So I hope next time if any of you come here, you will see a slightly different Boden Summit Conservation Center. And then in the process, we are in the process of finding more money to build our third forest enclosure. No, the third observation platform. Okay, and which definitely will improve the visitor experiences and also the entrance foyer as well. Yeah. So
Excellent.
yeah, and then yeah, so there's been several things happening as well over here. Any questions?
Who's got a question for Wong?
I'm curious on that on the slide that you showed just before. There was in the graphic the gliding animal. What was that one?
The what?
There was a on the graphic.
I'll pop it up.
Pop it up, yeah.
No, Wung Bing's illustration there in the middle.
Yeah,
Oh,
the little orangey red dude in the middle there, just below the sun bear. What's that?
the orange
Yeah,
animals in the
yeah,
picture,
Yeah,
flying squirrels.
yeah, the flying squirrel.
yeah. Because that uh, at the school I teach at, we watch squirrel gliders and in using cameras in nest boxes. So yeah, this just took me straight to that, and I was wondering
Absolutely.
um,
It's
what
a
that one actually
giant
was.
flying squirrel, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. And we actually saw one last time I was there. We saw them gliding at night, Jono. It was really awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's a bit of
Yeah.
privilege to be able to catch them at night. Yeah.
Yeah, especially at the at Sepilo, we have the Rainforest Discovery Center with the biggest canopy walkway in the world, and then with all the big giant trees, and actually they place a few nest box initially for the hornbill for nesting, but the hornbill did not use it. The flying squirrel used it. And then so the flying squirrels claim that nest box as their home and then settle down. And then every days with the presence of the visitors at 6:20 sharp, they would come out and glide from one big tree to another big tree. So the sight is actually quite spectacular for people to see, and it's satisfaction guaranteed.
Yeah.
6:20,
I can
not a
guarantee I
minute
can't.
early and not a minute late.
Sounds
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty amazing. Rhonda says in the comments, there are more species of flying squirrel in Borneo than any other world region.
Yeah, that is correct. And one of the reason why is because of the canopy, is because of the tree is so tall, and there are many species evolved to use the canopy as much as possible. And a good example is flying squirrels. A good example is the flying snake, flying frog, and then the flying lemur, the kulugo. So a lot of flying animals, especially remember even flying what Draco, a lizard that fly from tree to, all because of the canopy structures, all because of the forest is not two-dimensional but three-dimensional. So if you have not experienced Borneo rainforest, come and visit and spend your money here, and we need your money.
Absolutely. And it's just so diverse, isn't it?